All right, you ready now?
Yep.
All right. Good afternoon and welcome back to the FRR Racing League on NASCAR Heat 5. Hello everyone, I'm Nathan Prouty, and alongside me, as always, is Dylan Bridgers. And Dylan wasn't able to make it last weekend for the race at Bristol, but tonight, the complete opposite of Bristol. We are at the biggest track on the NASCAR circuit, the 2.66 mile Talladega Super Speedway. And if you want to talk about things happening quick, here is the place that it happens quick.
Yeah, that's for sure. And it's going to be a lot different than what we've seen these past three races that had all short tracks. Now going to the Super Speedway, I think we're going to see a lot more different racing that's here today for sure.
Yeah, and again, I apologize for the viewers out there that tune in with us every weekend. I was not able to make it for the race at Bristol last weekend due to family shenanigans, I guess you can say, for Easter dinner and everything like that. So apologies for that, but we are back. We are live once again here, and just a quick rundown on the results from last weekend. The winner of Stage 1 was Mad Mopar in the 13, and the winner of Stage 2 was Favre in the 4, and then the race winner was Field Filler in the 5, collected his first win of the season, so that was a huge win for him. Dylan, you actually got to call the race, and you actually got to watch it, so just kind of walk us through the race last weekend and tell the viewers what happened.
I ended up broadcasting it myself, but I didn't know. I realized my voice was messed up on it, but it was actually a really interesting race. It was actually, pretty solid one. There wasn't really many cautions. We had only one caution throughout the entire race, which happened in Stage 2. There were some strong cars there throughout the whole race, and then Field Filler ended up having a solid car there towards the end for the final stage, and ended up kind of winning off a pit strategy. And ended up taking the checkered flag for the win, for his first win of the year. So congrats to him.
Yeah, that's a huge victory for him, and as you said, congratulations to Field Filler. But one thing I want to mention, Dylan, Mad Mopar picked up stage win number 1 on the year in that category for him, and now he sits on the pole for Talladega tonight, so that's a interesting story to keep an eye on. Momentum comes in many different waves and different ways, that is, and he seems to have some momentum starting to build, so we'll see if he can carry it over and find victory lane for the first time tonight.
Okay.
And as you can hear, that was Mucka letting us know that we are good to come in and join. So get the broadcast rolling here as we are loading into the screen right now. And you said it, Dylan, 3 straight weekends of short track action, and now we are on the biggest track on the circuit. All 3 of those short tracks can fit in the infield here at Talladega Super Speedway, just to kind of give you an idea of how big this track is. They are going to be going well over 200 miles per hour tonight. The high bank turns number 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then a long back straightaway and also a curved front straightaway. And Dylan, one thing to remember here, the start-finish line, not usually where you see it at racetracks. It's kind of down on the short chute between the tri-oval and turns number 1 and 2, so that's going to be something to keep an eye on when we get to the closing laps as this one winds down to the finish.
Yeah, definitely be interesting here. Starting to go green here.
Field has already taken the green flag, and it is Mad Mopar in the 13, the pole sitter. He leads the field for the first time as they come off of turn number 4, down the turn number 2, that is, down the back straightaway on the outside at Shovelhead there in the 8, but Mad Mopar being pushed by the number 3 of True Death as they are double file 4 rows deep down the backstretch.
Yeah, Nate, I'm curious to see, too, how quickly these guys are able to get that high line rolling around here. I'm curious to see if we're going to see 2 lines of, 2 rows of cars all the way back, or if we're going to see them all just get in single file and run that low line. I'm curious to see how quickly we'll see that top line form up today.
Yeah, and we talked about momentum coming in different ways for drivers and how they race on the track. Well, here momentum is key, but that's not the momentum we're talking about. It's the momentum and speed and kind of how you play that draft. The draft here is key. You have to stay in it. You have to stay locked up, tucked in behind a car, and get a nice line going, or you're not going to go anywhere. As you see that top line right now, they just don't have enough cars up there to fulfill that train, and they're starting to slow back because, there was contact there between the number 24 and I believe that was the 41 of King as they headed into turn number 3 and 4. Now they work off of turn number 4, back to the tribal. It is still Mad Mopar, the race leader.
And you see that top line just losing more and more momentum there. You're starting to see more and more cars drop to that bottom lane. Oh,
yeah.
Take
King
that back.
Darts up to the high side.
Oh, and then gets bailed out by Bro Chase there in the 9. That's a tough one. See, not having anybody up there, man, how fast you're going to lose positions if you don't have no help on that high line.
Yeah, and you can kind of see that high line. They're trying to start.
Oh!
We got contact in the back. A couple of cars go for a spin. 2 slam the inside retaining wall. And now there's a big wreck at the entrance of turn number 3. I think there's about 5 or 6 cars that are all piled up in the middle of that one. We're going to get a pointer back in the right direction, but this is definitely going to be our first manual caution of the day.
Yeah, Mucka, I do know, was one of those involved in that.
Mucka in the 2.
I seen him almost go upside down.
6.
Yep. I think 9mm too, and
Predators
12.
in the 10. A whole slew of cars collected early on here at Talladega Super Speedway, only on lap number 4. The first manual caution of the afternoon is flying high.
And so that can just be a thing, like drafting, you get locked to somebody's bumper, and if they slide up a little bit and try to come back down, it's going to really lock that front end against their rear, and it's just all bad news from there.
Yeah. And I think that's what you just saw right there. Again, not really sure what sparked or triggered that massive pile up in the back, and now we got a couple of cars wrecking underneath caution.
Oh, that's a first. That's a first. You don't see that too often here.
Flash 9 and Twitch in the 7. They made contact. Twitch came back down the racetrack, and that's going to be unfortunate for those 2 drivers and the ones that were involved, because that is damage on those racing machines that they are going to have to fix down pit road, and that's going to set them back. They're definitely going to lose spots here, Dylan.
Yeah, and here's a spot, you get damage here, how much it really slows your car down. So that's something that, even if you just got a little bit of rear end damage, even if it's just a little bit of yellow, you want to definitely get that fixed in pit road, because it can really affect how your car handles.
I mean, good news for them. It is under a caution, so they will be able to get those racing machines repaired and back to 100%. But the thing along with that is it's Talladega. So just because you come out of the pits in, a position that's not up front, if you're like 10th or even farther back, in the matter of laps, you can be back up in the top 5 racing for the lead.
Yeah, that's what, it's good about Talladega here. You could start dead last and, within no time make your way up to the front and be running for, top 3, top 5.
Yeah. Yeah, it is definitely a track where it brings a lot to the table, and like we said at the top of the show, when we say things happen quick, you got to be on your toes 24/7 here, because one wrong move, one little slip up, and what you just saw was a huge pile up. That probably is how that happened. Just one little mistake, one car trying to be in the same spot as another one at the same time, and all of a sudden, the next thing you know, you're going to be on your roof or backwards, and you don't want that to happen, obviously. So you definitely got to be aware of what's around you at all times here at Talladega Super Speedway, or it'll claim another victim.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, it can get a little treacherous out there, and we're going to see also who, who's really willing to work together. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Teammates is huge here.
Exactly. And just having that driver there to, push you to where you need to go, or vice versa when they need help, it's going to really be crucial here as we get later into the runs.
A little off topic, but that was kind of a weird spot for that wreck to happen. Usually you see them coming off a 2 or halfway down the back straightaway, even on the front stretch, but man, that was right at the entrance of turn 3. Again, we got to go back and look at the replay once the stream's over and kind of figure out what happened to start that whole chain of events. But obviously, not good for the ones that were involved. But up front, Mad Mopar, he sat on the pole. He's led every single lap so far. There's only been 4, about to complete 5 as the field works through the triable, getting ready to go back to the Geico restart zone. And they will see the American Ethanol green flag. And, I think that was True Death in the 3. He went really early, and Mad Mopar is going to lose a bunch of spots. They just now crossed the start-finish line. They're 3 wide as they head back into turns number 1 and 2.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a sketchy start, I guess you could say there. You see, look at this front pack here. Look how much of the difference between it is between that second pack. That's going to be hard for them guys to maybe catch up. But yeah, if that front line goes single file, these guys in the back there, because you can tell they're running double. 2 rows back, that's really going to hurt their momentum to catch this front group here.
Not sure if that was a result of Mad Mopar not getting up to the gears quick enough, or what the problem was, or if True Death did jump the start. We'll have to wait and see if anything happens. But right now, everything seems to be A-OK, and the 2 RCR cars are up front and leading the way. The 3 of True Death in the lead, the 8 of Shovelhead tucked in behind them. Teammates battling it out here for the race lead, drafting down the short chute back into turns number 1 and 2.
Yeah, you see only 2 cars back there in that second pack, only 2 cars on that high line. I think the smartest thing for them to do is drop down low, get single file, and catch this group in front of them. As you see DB starting to pick up that front group there. So I think we're going to see these guys side by side here before too long.
Yeah, and another thing we want to bring up just really quick here is, if you're a car that's mirrored back in traffic, back in the pack, and this definitely could have been a result of that wreck, Dylan. I mean, you've raced here before as well as I. When you're tucked in behind a car and you're, 4th or 5th on back in a line, you cannot see what is going on in front of you, and it's kind of just a guessing game if you see trouble up in front.
Yeah. Oh, just like almost right there.
Right there. Oh, now
we got a car into the wall. That's 9mm in the 12.
And Flash 9 in the 9. Another incident here early on at Talladega Super Speedway. There's another car involved. I believe that's 9 or Dan, and the number 95 machine will get a positive number on that one or not. But, oh, man, another wreck early on. Oh, it's not. It's the 96 of Mac Attack.
Yeah, yep, 96 of Mac Attack, the 12 of 1 9mm, and Flash 9 in the 9. That's a shame. A lot of heavy damage to them cars.
That was 3 or more cars, so this will warrant another manual caution, and that'll be our second of the afternoon. As they come across the start-finish line, they race back to the stripe, which they just did. They spread out, they slow it down, back to caution minimum speed. But man, Dylan, that is an interesting start here at Talladega Super Speedway. We haven't seen that this year, and now there's been 2 manual cautions in the first 10 laps here at Talladega.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a first here. But coming here, like I said, you start doing some drafting here. Going into the corner, some might slide up, and if that guy slides up in front of you just a hair, you're expecting there still to be a little bit of room to come back down. But, with this draft being so powerful here, your nose gets underneath someone before you can even, react to it. And most of the time, that usually proves costly, as I'm pretty sure that's what happened right there.
Yeah, and I don't know. That's weird. I have a question for you. I think, and I'm going to ask you this, do you think that they've seen how the Daytona race played out, and the aggressive meter has been cranked to the top right off the get-go because they don't want to fall behind like some did at Daytona?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, because, position here is key in this league, man. Like, you don't want to fall too far back because, a consistent finish here in this league is exactly what you need, So you're running too far in the back. That can really, really, hurt you later on when it comes to the season. We're already on race 10 here, so you're going to start seeing, a little bit more aggressiveness, I think, as the year goes on. So, guess we'll find out. That's for sure. It's already looking like it. So,
interesting strategy here. Half the field stays out, half the field goes in. So we got a mixture of strategies here, and have to see if that'll help or.
Yeah, and for the viewers on
came down and disadvantage, we'll see.
Times 3 wear, that's 13 laps to a fuel tank. So
yeah, and we are now on lap number 10 of 29 here in stage 1. So the drivers that just made their way down pit road cannot make it on fuel. So maybe they're just going for the fresh rubbers, and not really sure what the the cause of pulling down pit road was, but that's all a part of their strategy, and we'll have to see if that plays out into their favor. But we are down the back straightaway right now. We're going back to green this lap. Again, we're on lap number 10 of 29 here in the Geico 250 at Talladega Super Speedway. True Death, the race leader right now. The controversial restart that just happened a couple laps ago seems to be okay. Man, Mopar was the one who lost a lot of spots off of that. He's sitting there in second in the outside lane, so he's in fourth, and we'll see how this restart works out as they are on the high banks in turns number 3 and 4 right now, just awaiting the slow crawl back to the Geico restart zone that's in the middle of the tri-oval before they head for the start-finish line. So again, 2 manual cautions already in the first 10 laps. We'll come back to the Geico restart zone, cross the start-finish line. 10 laps will be in the books. We'll be on lap number 11 of 29 in stage number 1. And Dylan, you mentioned it, only 13 laps to a fuel run here, or tank of gas. So the drivers that did just come down pit road will not be able to make it to the end, but the field will go through the Geico restart zone yet again here at Talladega Super Speedway. True Death, he leads the field back to the American Ethanol green flag as it's flying once again here at Talladega Super Speedway. And no,
I don't think. Again. Another Daytona, yeah.
Yep.
Fooled you. Gotcha.
It's the super speedways, man. They get me.
Yeah. Yeah, it made me start to think that too, because I seen Shovelhead there on the outside kind of go a little high, you know what I'm saying? So it made me think maybe they weren't going this time, but wonder why that is. It looked like they were all together. I guess maybe in the back they didn't have everybody lined up, to the full. Good. It looks like back there they're kind of still figuring out who's going where.
So bear with us, and my mistake. We're doing one more pace lap here at Talladega Super Speedway. Slow 75-mile-per-hour crawl around the 2.66-mile racetrack. Again, the largest track on the circuit. I guess you can say Circuits of the America beats out Talladega now, but on the game it's Talladega Super Speedway. For the Cup, that is. They do race Road America in the Xfinity Series, but on the Cup circuit, on the Cup schedule, that is, it's the biggest one that they go to for now.
Yeah, I see in the back here, following out Bro Chase. They're, I guess, figuring out where one another are running. But I do believe we will be going green this time, though. So,
I can only hope.
Oh, what happened back there to 9mm? He's in the wall. He just spun around in the very back.
See if we can find him here, and there he was. Yeah. Not sure
what all by himself. Went head on into the wall. Like. He's definitely going to have some damage from that. He's definitely going to have damage. And I bet you they're going green this time, so he's going to have to stay out. Yeah, they're going green for sure.
Well, that is not good for 9mm. He's probably going to lose the draft if he has damage like you're saying. But the field is back to the Geico restart zone this time. And I believe, Dylan, we are going green. And yes, we are. The American Ethanol green flag is flying in the air. And I mean it for real this time. They're back up the gears and back into turns number 1 and 2. A little teammate work right there. You see Mad Mopar lets the number 8 machine slide down in front of him. That's the RCR boys right there. 1, 2, 3 as they head off of turn number 2 and back down the back straight away.
Yeah, those 3 cars right there are looking strong, man. Just the momentum on that outside line already just dying so quickly. You see KB just get shuffled back, way back there.
Actually, Twitch is also on the RCR team, so RCR currently runs right now 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you got Favre in 5th, and DB, the last member of the team, is in 6th. So the RCR boys, we said teammates might be a huge factor here in their key. Well, they're proving that statement's true because they are lined up and leading this train of single-file cars around Talladega Super Speedway. 12 laps in the books, that is. They're on lap number 13 of 29 here in stage number 1. 17 laps to go in stage 1 as they work off turn number 2 and back down the back straightaway.
Yeah, you see, I think that little bit of those first 2 cautions got, everybody you see, they look like they relaxed a little bit. You see everybody, everybody's single file right now. Let's just click through some laps. We'll do some racing later. There's a whole lot of race left. So, I mean, don't want to push the issue too early, but at the same time, you don't want to be that guy who gets, stuck on, just like we seen with KB there, got stuck on the outside, lost, 5 to 7 positions. That can really, really hurt. I seen something back there. Looked like they gathered it up pretty quickly.
And again, it's the same thing that we've been seeing. They're 3 wide as they work into turn number 1, but I mean, it's the same thing. It's just a lot of jostling for position, and it's just not going the way that they want it to go. They get separated. One thing we want to mention to the viewers, no Perky tonight in that number 14. It's Duh Jr. taking over for his race just for tonight, though. Perky could not be here with us this afternoon, but just wanted to go to Twitch here and show you something. We talked about how you really can't see if you're not that lead car. Well, let's ride on board with Twitch, and look at that, folks. You can barely see True Death in the 3. You can only see him when they bob and weave out of the draft. That's just the turbulence shaking the car around, but you cannot see what is ahead of you. And as we go farther back in the pack, there's Favre in the 4. I mean, it's just so hard for these cars to see what is exactly taking place up in front of them.
We got somebody lagging back there. I think that's a lag, yeah.
Dan, the man in the 6, is lagging pretty bad in front of King, and the whole field is moving up to the top side of the racetrack to hopefully avoid the lagging 6 cars. He makes some more contact.
Yeah, and it's one of those lags that are back, side to side rather than forward and back, which here can really be bad.
You can see King trying to take as wide as a way around him as he possibly can, but it looks like he gets by him without an issue. We'll take a look.
Yeah, he went ahead. He went ahead and pulled to the bottom. Good man, good man. Gonna lose spot, lose the draft, but you don't want to cost anybody the race. I can understand.
And here is what we were talking about. Prime example. King is in the 41 right now, running at the tail end of this line, and going down the back straightaway, he can only see about 2 or 3 cars up in front of him. Besides that, Dylan, he could not see anything, and that's what we're talking about. You're going so fast here. If something were to happen up in front of him, he does not have much time to do anything about it, and he will not see them for long.
Yeah, no time to react. Yeah, that's for sure. You get 2 cars together up there that, smash into one another, and you can't see. Next thing you know, you're going to be the one involved in that. And then, of course, anybody behind you, if you can't see, most of the time that person around you also can't see. So,
yeah.
I mean, being nose to tail, it's very difficult to see around.
Look at his view right there. He cannot see. There's only about 2 or 3 cars up in front of him that he can see. And then past that point, I mean, there's a good 6 or 7 cars that are past those ones that he in front of him that he can see, but all it's from out there on out, it's just rooftops. And I mean, that's got to be an unsettling thing as a driver, because like we said, it just happened so fast. And I guess that I'm guaranteeing that's what happened in those wrecks that were caused earlier today.
Yeah, and I think that's why, you see him kind of ducking out to the right there, trying to kind of maybe see what everybody's doing up there. You see that front wheel pack starting to pull away from there. Ooh, let's see, we got Matty Boy at the start-finish line. He's not going. Oh, there he goes. Now he's on his way.
Pit road and sideways, and they all just went down below the yellow line on the back straightaway. So that means, I believe, pit stops are coming.
Yep.
See if we can get on the leader here. Watch them try to enter pit road, and Dylan, this is a very treacherous pit road, and here they come. Slowing down from about 200 miles per hour to, I think it's 60 miles per hour on pit road.
55.
But it looked like they all got in that group right there. They all got in nice and clean, which is good for them.
Yeah, but at the same time, for us, we can't really tell, speed-wise or not. I guess we'll be able to tell, who comes out when. If anybody's still left behind, there is a cycle out of pit road here.
So here's the second group that's still on the racetrack. They're a 4-car breakaway up front. Then they're about 5 or 6 here in the second half of this pack, battling it out. And I believe that they are staying out one more lap. Oh no, a couple do come down pit road. There are some that are staying out again, but
Mucka is staying out. He's one of those cars.
And I believe those are the cars that came down pit road in that last manual caution. So we'll see how long they can stay out for before they do have to bring their race cars down pit road and top off with fuel, because here at Talladega, even though we're on 3 times tire wear, usually the left sides stay intact pretty well. The right ones are the ones, the set of tires that you're going to see a lot of people go on. So you're probably going to see a lot of 2-tire stops today, maybe even no tires and just gas only. But we'll see how these cars handle that when they come down pit road, because these were the ones that were on pit road the last. So that'll be interesting to see, Dylan, if that manual caution and coming down pit road underneath that helped these guys out.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's an interesting strategy there, though. But I mean, if you know, with that last caution, you could have been, some of them cars that did stay out and did go into the pit road, they might have had damage. And I mean, like I said, with damage here, that's something you want to fix. You don't want to be rolling around with damage, not damage all over your car, because it's really going to affect the way that thing handles.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That is the front 3 running cars right now. Mucka in the 2, Pittman in the 11, McAtack in the 96. And again, those cars pitted under that last manual caution, so they have a little bit more fuel left in the tank here at Talladega Super Speedway. We are on lap number 21 of 29 in stage number 1. So the conclusion of the first stage is coming up here. And Dylan, this is the hard part from our viewpoint. It just gets so strung out here under green flag pit stops, which, doesn't make the racing any better, but it's just so hard for us to keep up with everything that's going on the track.
Yeah, for sure. Just kind of find myself just running with, like the biggest fast. Like right now, I'm running on DB's camera here. They're starting to catch up to it. Looks like Flash 9 and Bro Chase, their teammates, running on in front of these guys. Is Mucka still leading? Yeah, Mucka is still in the lead as of right now. But, the thing is, too, also, you can only save 1 lap each stage. Save 1 lap this stage, 1 lap in the second stage, and I believe 2 or 3 in the third. I can't quite remember. Yeah. But those guys like Mucka who came in, during that last caution, even if they save a lap, they're still going to have to come down pit road. And, the more cars you have in a draft here, the better. So with only having a few cars like that, I mean, I don't know. We'll see how that really works out for them. But
well, these guys are racing like it's the final lap. They were single file a lap ago, but now DB, he jets out to the high side, and he gets a couple of guys to go with him. It's a 6-car train up top that leaves the 3-car train stranded on the bottom. DB is going to be the new leader out of this group as they work off of turn number 4 and head back to the trial. Mad Mopar, he took a peek to the inside. DB shut the door. He blocked him, and now they're back onto the front straightaway, heading for turns number 1 and 2. This is a great racing, Dylan.
Yep, sorry, Nate, give me just 1 second.
So for the viewers at home, the biggest question that we have right now is if this group of about 9 cars, I would say, can make it back around and pass Mucka and the 11 and the 90 and all those cars that stayed out and were running a little bit longer. As you saw on the back of your screen, they went down pit road, or they went down below the yellow line that last lap. So that means they are going down pit road this time by. So they have a whole lap, Dylan, to make it back around and try to catch the group of cars that stayed out and were stretching their fuel on lap number 24 of 29 here in stage number 1. This will be interesting to see where it all cycles out. But right now, they're down the back straightaway. It is Chase in the number 24 being pushed by his Hendrick Motorsports teammate, Flash 9 in the 9.
Yeah, and with the group that Mucka was running with, I believe they only had 3 cars. I think it was him, Pittman, and the 95 who's the 95?
It was the 96 of McAtack.
That's it, McAtack in the 96. But 9 cars are going to be way faster than 3. The more cars you have anywhere on the track in a draft, they're going to be flying a lot quicker. So I think you're going to see Mucka, and then I think they're going to lose a lot of position here off that. I don't know. They're right there, yeah.
Off of the back straightaway. They're going to be in the turns number 3 and 4.
And I eat my words.
Tries to blend in, but is going to get shuffled out. We'll see how it works when they catch Mucka. And Chase now will do what we just said, and Mucka kind of gets shuffled out because all that momentum up top, there's just nowhere for him to go. But he's still going to be in this lead pack. He's still going to have the draft, so he has a chance to still get up there and claim the victory in stage number 1. But right now, Chase in the 24 is the race leader. They're on lap number 26 of 29 in stage number 1. 4 to go.
And so you got these front 4 cars from the 24, the 9, the 4, and the 14 just running single file. These guys, yep, okay, they finally did it. DB, Mad Mopar. I think that's True Death right behind them. These guys need to get single file or they're going to lose them 4 cars in front of them.
Show you what's going on behind Chase with the camera angle that follows him in front of the racing machine. He's got a 4-car line that he's leading right now. They're all stacked up single file, bumper to bumper, as they work through the tri-oval. Back onto the short chute. They cross the start-finish line. So 3 laps to go, Dylan, here in stage number 1. And the biggest question that we go every single time we go to a super speedway, that is when do you make your move?
I don't know. You got Flash 9 in that 9, and you got Bro Chase leading it, who are teammates. So, and then right behind them, you got the Stewart Haas guys. You know, you got Favre in the 4, and you said Duz driving for Perky today. I feel like you're gonna, I don't know. I think you should wait for the last lap, but I would 100% expect a block from Flash 9 to give Bro Chase that stage win. But I mean, we'll see here as we come up on 2 laps to go as they cross the start-finish line. 2
laps to go. It's going to come down to these front 4 because I don't know what happened, but that pack that you see, the tiny, almost ant-shaped size back in your screen, they lost a ton of time. I'm not really sure what happened if someone got in the way of somebody trying to get back in line, but man, they lost a lot of time.
Yeah, well, I think Mucka wasn't quite up to speed yet, and True Death went ahead and dragged his brake and went back there and picked him up, and then they finally were able to get back together. But I mean, that just gave them front 4 cars that have been just nose to tail. I mean, they're just going to continue to pull away. But you see coming up on lap traffic here as they come out of 4, they should stay high. They should be all right here.
It's about to get interesting, Dylan, because the front 4 right there on the bottom of your screen go through the tri-oval. They cross the start-finish line. 1 lap to go here in stage number 1. The white flag is flying in 2.66 miles. We will determine who is the victor of stage number 1 right now. Chase in the 24, Flash 9 in the 9, Favre in the 4, and Daha Jr. in the 14. That's your top 4. They work off of turn number 2. Head down the back straightaway for the final time in stage 1.
And here you see it. Here you see that 4 car starting to drag the brake a little, get a little bit of space between him and them 2 Hendrick guys to see if they can't get a big old run off this draft and maybe take them on the high side.
And they're going to have the help from the lap traffic cars behind them, the 2 pesky teammates. They're trying to push and help and be a part of this finish for the stage, but they're not going to be able to do anything with it because they're lapped down. Here they come off of turn number 4 through the tri-oval, side by side. Chase in the 24, Favre in the 4. They come across the start-finish line. It's going to be a photo finish for stage 1, but I think Favre is the winner.
Wow, what a run there. What a run. What a run.
What a finish of stage number 1. And the Stage Slayer picks up yet another stage win here on the year. Favre in the 4 wins stage number 1 of the Geico 250 at Talladega Super Speedway. What a finish, Dylan.
Yeah, that was great there. I mean, just within inches. I mean, this is a sport of inches, so that was definitely one of them there. As you see, he just nosed him out there right at the finish line.
And what a well-timed move. That was perfect. And, yeah, he did have the help from the 2 lap-down Penske teammates behind him. That definitely helped the momentum carry to the top. But, I mean, you can't time that any better than what those 2 Stewart Haas racing machines just did.
Oh, yeah, no, that was picture perfect what you want to do for the final turn. Final turn at Talladega, that was picture perfect, how you exactly want it to be executed there.
So the field is all racked back up, and we are back in the Geico restart zone, and the American Ethanol green flag is waving once again. Stage number 2 is underway here at Talladega Super Speedway in the Geico 250. Favre in the 4, just won stage number 1. He leads the field through turns number 1 and 2, but up top it's the 2 Hendrick boys chasing the 24, Flash 9 to the 9, and they are double wide racing the whole length of the field as they head down the back straightaway. through the tri-oval, 1 lap down, 26 to go here in stage number 2 in the Geico 250 in the FRR Racing League. And man, they are not getting a single file anytime soon, Dylan. They are still double file, side by side drag racing about 7 rows deep as they work off for turn number 2 and head back down the back straightaway. Chase, he wants the lead, and he is not giving up on that high lane. Something we haven't
I apologize
seen yet.
there. I'm back.
Yeah, something we haven't seen yet today. The high line has just prevailed, and they are taking off, and they have gotten far enough out where they were able to slide down.
Oh, we got the 14 into Matt Mopar. That's Judd driving for Perky. He's able to get it gathered up there pretty quickly.
The pole sitter, Matt Mopar, but everybody was able to stay pointed in the right direction, and no incident. That could have been a lot worse than what it was, Dylan.
Yeah, for sure. You know, early in a stage like this, you wanna be as cautious as you can right now. You don't want to make any big mistakes here, but I don't know quite what happened there, but it looked like Perky, or not Perky, my apologies, Duh there just kind of got a little loose on the outside there of Mopar and came down into him. Luckily that didn't, when he hit him, luckily that didn't just shoot him straight up into the wall, because I know that I've had it happen to me, and I'm sure you have too. When you come down into a car, it'll shoot your car right, you know, and luckily, he was able to, keep control of it and get back in line and not lose too many spots.
Yeah, that was an interesting restart, I'll tell you that much, because we haven't seen the high side take that high lane momentum and basically drive it to the lead. And, I mean, that's exactly what Chase and Flash 9 just did. They stayed up top off that restart, and they were not looking to get single file and fall in line at the bottom. They were looking for the race lead, and now they're 1-2 because they stayed up high. So that's something to take note of. Those two Hendrick machines, they can run that high line and run it pretty quick.
Ooh, I'm not sure what quite happened in the back there. It looked like they all got a little squirrely. I heard a little bit of contact between somebody. Go back there.
Like True Death and maybe the 48 of KB Showtime were involved in a little contact there as they headed into turns number 1 and 2. But
oh man, Doug just stuck on the outside. Oh, I think Doug might be lagging. I think that's why he might be heading to the back there. Yeah, it is. That's exactly. Yep. So I think maybe there was a little bit of incident contact from lag.
Caused a lot of separation there between the front 4 and then the pack that's sitting behind them, but there are so many cars lined up behind them there. They're just going to blow through that draft and attach themselves to the back bumper of Twitch in the number 7. He's riding there in the 4th position. And True Death.
True Death into the wall.
He's into the wall. True Death
right there.
Went up high. He had that momentum. He had the run. He tried the slingshot move, peeked to the high side, and there was cars going with him, Dylan, but he got up into the wall, and he stayed up there, and now he has fallen all the way to the back. Yeah,
that's tough, and he lost a lot of position there, but that's just one of those things. I think he just had so much of a pull on that draft, and when he went to make his move to the outside, he might have gave that wheel a little bit too hard of a turn, which ended up putting him up into the wall. As you see, I mean, he lost multiple spots from that. Now he might even be losing the draft to that front pack. So
yeah, that is going to be a hard one to recover from here in stage number 2. We're on lap number 7 of 27 here in stage 2. So the lap's still a handful to go. I mean, that's a lot of laps, 21 to be precise, but that's a lot of time around this high bank racetrack.
A lot of time, yeah. And, we still got green flag pit stops, coming. So still a lot of time to make your way up to the front there in this stage.
Oh, a little bit of separation between the two teammates. They go up high, and all of a sudden now we're going to have a lead change because they're not going to be able to get back to the bottom of the racetrack, and it's going to be the number 10 of Predators who emerges with the new race lead. That was really strange, Dylan. The two Hendrick drivers shuffled up the racetrack coming off of turn number 4, and it is going to cost them. They're going to go all the way to the back of this line on the bottom.
Ah, shoot, Mike was on mute. What I was going to say is, you know, they go to the back, but we seen earlier that those were the two that led that charge on that outside line to the front. So if you were one of these guys who were in front of them in the middle of this little front pack here, I think that would be something on the front of my mind here is if they shoot out, I think I would probably go with them on that outside line because they've already proven that it can work.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But now the new race leader is Predators in the number 10, followed by Twitch in the 7. And then you got Favre there, who won stage 1, sitting in the 3rd position. The pole sitter, Matt Mopar, in 5th. And Dylan Mucka, he has made a nice recovery. He is rounding out the top 5 as we speak right now. And KB Showtime, he's in 6th. Mac Attack, the number 96, is in 7th. Pittman is in 8th. King is in the 41. He's sitting in 9th. And rounding out the top 10 now is Chase in the 24, being followed by his teammate Flash 9. So they drifted from 1st and 2nd back to 10th and 11th, but they're still in the draft of this lead pack. It is a 11-car train, Dylan, right now, just riding around the bottom of the racetrack, clicking off laps here in stage 2.
Yeah, I think that's the smartest thing to do right now. You know, you don't want to make a move too early and, you know, cost yourself something. But I think that ain't the last we've seen of these, that 24 and that 9 car. I think we're going to see them take a charge to the front. And I 100% believe that once they go to that outside, they're going to have cars that'll come with them. But the first thing is, with them running at the back of that pack, first you got to get up there to where the cars can, you know, get behind you to give you that push. But you see there's that little second pack right behind them that's starting to actually catch up. We'll see if they're able to get to the back bumper here. Ooh, it looks like one of them is on into pit road.
Oh, we got trouble in the trial.
Oh, yeah.
It was Favre in the 4, Mad Mopar in the 13. A huge wreck through the trial. Flash 9 involved. Damn, the man, he's around again. It has been a bad day for a couple of those drivers. A big wreck as they work through the trial across the start-finish line, and this is definitely going to bring out another manual caution.
You know, what's interesting here is Mini Golf was actually on his way to pit road. I'm not sure if he's a lap down or not, but this might actually help him out. I mean, that if he was not a lap down, this is going to jumpstart him straight to the front because I think all of these guys are going to need a pit. I think everybody is coming up to the spot where they're going to need to pit. You know, you're running, let's see, hang on, let me see what lap we're on. Oh, come on, phone.
We're on lap number 11 of 27 here in stage 2. And I just went back to watch the stream, Dylan. What happened there? Twitch in the 7 lagged right in front of Favre. And that's what shot Favre back. And it was just a chain reaction from there. And, boy, that was a massive wreck. A couple of those guys took some pretty big blows there.
Yeah, for sure. They definitely did. And even I seen the 9 was involved. I mean, the 9, I'm not sure if Mucka took any piece of it. I didn't see that.
You said it. What's the old name for it? It is the big one, and it's called that because when it happens here at Talladega Superspeedway, it's pretty much always big. When you see a car get turned sideways in the front of the pack and come back down through traffic, it usually is not a good result, and that right there was a prime example because we just saw that exact thing happened. Favre got hit up into the outside wall, and he ricocheted off the safer barriers back down through traffic, and it was on from there. So we're on lap number 12 of 27 here in stage number 2. It's going to be interesting, Dylan. They're going to be right on that threshold of making it all the way to the end on fuel if they save another lap once by the time we go back to green. So it's going to be interesting to see if some of these guys try to stretch it and if they can succeed in that task and see if they can get to the end here. Pit road is open, and actually, Dylan, a lot of cars are staying out.
Oh, that's
it's interesting.
That's interesting. I don't know how I feel about that one there. Man, even Favre in the 4 has. I mean, his aero lights even on. He still does come down pit road. That's a questionable call there. I don't know what's. I don't even know what to say. You know, like, I mean, how many cars came down?
I think I saw it's your boy Chase down pit road, but
Yeah.
I mean that
Was it just him?
Yeah, 24th down pit road, and I believe that's the only car that made its way down pit lane. So I'm as
Maybe it was
baffled as
close.
you are right now.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, like I said, Favre's got aero damage, so you know he's definitely coming to pit road. So I mean, I don't know why. Like you said, I think it might have been closed there. Maybe Bro Chase kind of went in and wasn't supposed to. We'll see what happens. Happens once they get back together.
Yeah, I think it must have been close because they're not lining up for a restart. So
yeah. So yeah, take this time, to thank anybody watching our broadcast too. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. Appreciate the support from anybody who watches this or goes back and watches it later. It's really, really, really cool to see the support that we have here.
Fun racing, Sunday night. Every Sunday night on 9 o'clock Eastern time, we'll be here bringing you the race, except last weekend. And again, that's my doing. I wasn't able to make it, and I apologize for that. But got
and it was supposed to be
family matters and wasn't here, so
I was broadcasting without you for the first time. Niner Dan was gonna, help me out. I start my broadcast and then later find out people go back, after the race they go back to watch it. And they're like, "Bro, we can't hear your voice." I'm like, no way. I had to look up a video to figure out why my voice wasn't coming up. Man, there's like 3 different, spots on the PS5 that you have to go in and make sure that's on, in order for it to happen. It was an update that I just last did 3 days prior to that race, and I guess it threw all my audio off. And it was such a bummer because I feel like I did pretty well too. But
yeah, that.
Oh no, we missed you last week. That's for sure. Yeah, because I mean, if I would have known that, like nobody told me, I didn't get no messages or nothing like, "Yo, we can't hear your voice" or whatnot. I found out after the broadcast was already done, so it's like, oh, bummer.
Yeah, for the viewers out there too, if anything is happening during the race where you can't hear us, or you want to see something, or want us to talk about something, or have a question about anything that happened during the race, just go into the comments, and we would more than willing answer that question or do whatever you guys would prefer to see. So 100% drop a comment in that comment box and we can get it done for you guys.
Or a driver you want to ride around with for a few laps, anything. Let's see who we got. I'm curious who's going to be starting in the front row here. I mean, you got all these guys who are already off pit road. Favre must have had so much damage. He's just now coming off pit road, so that car was destroyed.
Oh, what do we got going on?
I don't know. I see Predator and Bro Chase look like they might have just gotten into one another. Well, Bro Chase, I know, is probably going to the back since he pitted early and wasn't supposed to. So he's going to find his rightful spot there in the back of the pack. I think we're going to see another maybe lap maybe 2 of caution laps here to get where everybody was running sorted out.
And with this caution, and with the amount of laps that they're running under caution speed and the time that they pitted, I believe, Dylan, that they are going to be able to make it to the end on fuel. It's going to be close, but I believe that they will be able to make it to the end on fuel. So.
Yeah, because we're on lap, 14 right now, 27, and we're still going to have another lap under caution. So.
Well, it looks like they're getting it all sorted out, and they're wrapped up. It's going to be close.
Yeah, they look like they are kind of racking it up. We'll see if they go green here. If they do, I mean, they're right on, dead on, yeah.
A little too close for comfort here at Talladega, because if somebody were to run out of fuel in the front of the pack, it is going to be absolute chaos and mayhem that unfolds. So something to keep an eye on when we get to the closing laps here.
Nope, they're going one more.
Number 2, and they are going one more lap under caution here at Talladega Superspeedway.
Yeah, Nate, that's the thing. There's 13 laps to a tank, but I mean, I'm sure we all know when you put a full tank of gas into your car, it drops down to 12 laps fairly quickly. So, even coming up with this, with them going this extra lap, now that's going to make it almost dead on. They might have one lap, almost, it'd be clicking 0 as they cross that line, probably pretty close to it.
Yeah, if someone runs out of fuel in the front of the field or anywhere on the track where there's a driver behind them, it is not going to be pretty, the events that unfold after that. And keep in mind, once we hit 5 to go, there's no more manual caution. So if something like that were to happen in the closing laps of the stage, it could get ugly for some guys, and it could ruin their day before the final stage even starts. But the front row, you were asking about it, Dylan. It is KB Showtime in the 48. He is in second, and the race leader is Predators in the number 10 machine. Behind him on row number 2, you have Twitch in the 7, King in the 41. DB rounds out the top 5 on the inside. He's the third car on the inside there in the number 1 machine. So, yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how close these guys are on fuel when it comes down to the closing laps here in stage number 2. We're going to be on lap number 16 of 27. So when they cross the start-finish line, 15 laps down in stage number 2. And I think, Dylan, with it being so close to the end of the stage and knowing that green flag pit stops aren't going to take place anymore, we are in store for some more great racing and another great finish. But that is a little ways away. We still got to run some laps to get there. Anything can happen, but the field back to the tribal, just waiting on the Geico restart zone. It is going to be Predators, the race leader. He controls the start, being pushed by Twitch in the 7, and there they go through the Geico restart zone, back up through the gears. The American Ethanol green flag is waving once again here at Talladega Super Speedway in the Geico 250. They're back into turns number 1 and 2, Dylan. KB Showtime, he had a little bit of a peak for the lead on the outside, but it's not going to be there for long because Predators gets a huge shove, and now there's contact as they work off of turn number 2.
Yeah, you know, one thing I was going to say right before that restart, it's nice to see some of these guys that you don't normally see up there, like King running up there in the top 5, you know. It's cool to see some of the drivers that you haven't seen quite, you know, so much up front that much this year, you know. It's really, really good to see. We'll see what kind of finish he has here as he's running in the 5th spot here.
I got 3 words for that statement right there. Welcome to Talladega.
Yeah, right.
When they come here and the drivers strap on the helmets and tighten up the belts, it is anybody's race, and I mean anybody's race. It does not matter the kind of setup or car you brought to the track. If you're in that draft, you have a shot to win it at the end. And
we got one 9mm into the wall.
9mm and Mad Mopar, the 13, the pole sitter, Dylan. That's only 2 cars. I don't think that's going to bring out a manual caution.
Nope, I don't believe it will either. We'll see as they race back around to the line. I don't think it's going to, though. You're right.
And Mad Mopar kept it straight, too. He did get run into by 9mm, but he never spun around. It's just going to be a heavy damage race car that he's going to be piloting for the last couple of laps in stage number 2, as we almost saw another incident going into turns number 3 and 4 between Daha Jr. and KB Showtime. But it's going to be interesting to see. They come across the start-finish line here. So again, this is not where traditionally the start-finish line would be at. It's kind of around the tri-oval heading for turns number 1 and 2 in that short chute. They cross
it is going to be a caution.
It is a manual caution. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's super speedways. It's only 2, right?
2.
And short tracks is 3. Yeah,
I got confused there. That's my fault.
Yeah, we've been at short tracks for the past 3 races. So I mean, understandable yeah.
Got accustomed to that, but yeah.
So what's that? That's our 2nd caution of the afternoon for stage 2, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, so we've had a total of 4 manual cautions so far. We are on lap number 18 of 27 now here in stage number 2.
Yeah, Nate, now do we see the aggressiveness really pick up between some of these drivers?
It's going to get ramped up another level, and I don't even know if you can turn the dial any farther from what we've been seeing here. But with this big of a pack and it's going to get down to a single file line for the first couple of laps, and they're just going to snake around the bottom of the racetrack. But then when it gets down to, 2 or 3 to go and this big of a pack, if one car goes up high, you're going to get help. It's almost guaranteed, because somebody who's running back in 10th or outside the top 10, they want stage points, and they're not going to get stage points finishing outside the top 10, so they got to do anything that they can to help them out and try to get up and finish in the top 10. So I really think if anybody goes to the high side, you're going to get help. And we saw a little bit of a fake there by Twitch in the 1.
And the 14 as well.
And then DB in the 1, yeah.
Yeah, I think we see, was that last week? I can't remember. Was that Martinsville? I think it might have been Bristol last week. Favre tried to fake out on a manual caution. I believe it might have been Bristol last week. Favre tried to, Favre tried to fake people out. Okay, well, when he did that, everybody came in, and it left him out there by himself, and it ended up proving costly for him because he wasn't able to make. That. Yeah, he wasn't able to make it the rest of the way. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so it could be a tricky situation to be in if you're the race leader and you had a whole field behind you that's basically going to do the opposite of what you do. So it could be very hard to handle that pressure and that split-second decision whether to come down or not. And right there, everybody said, "I'm good. I'm going to stay out." So we'll see if that helps the guys.
I think the only guys who came in had damage.
Yeah. I would assume so.
Yeah, like I said, well, I don't know. Let's see. We had Flash 9, I guess, obviously came in. He's starting to catch back up there. True Death, the 24 Bro Chases. You see them Hendrick guys are really sticking with one another. If one comes in, the other comes in right with them. So they're not really trying to leave one another. They're not leaving each other in the field at all. I believe we might be going green here as they start to stack back up here. Once the green flag drops,
Number 19 of 27 will be on lap number 20. Didn't mean to cut you off there, Dylan, but I think that's where you were going with that.
Yep.
So the laps are winding down here at Talladega Super Speedway in stage number 2 of the Geico 250 here in the FRR Racing League. And I mean, we had about 11 laps to go, 10 laps to go when we went back to green last time, and we thought it was going to get crazy. Well, buckle up, because it's going to get even crazier than what we thought it was going to, because this big of a pack, they're all good on fuel now. This finish for stage 2 can be one that we remember for a while. You thought stage 1 was good. Stick around, folks, because I think stage number 2 might be able to top that. Here they go, back to the Geico restart zone. The American FRR green flag back in the air, and look at everybody trying to dart down to the bottom of the racetrack. That leaves a couple of the guys stranded up high. But right now, it is Predators in the 10, Twitch in the 7, KB Showtime, the 48. That's your top 3 as they work off turn number 2 and head back down the back straightaway.
Ooh, KB pops out, thinking maybe he can see if he can get a little help up there. Dives back down, gets back in line. Wasn't quite feeling that high line yet. As you see now, there's only 3 cars straining up there. Pittman, and we got Shovelhead stuck out there, as well as Duh in the 14. Oh, here comes them Hendrick boys, and Favre as well up to the top line.
They're trying to make some noise up there and see if they can get that high line rolling, but right now they are 3 wide, 3 rows deep in the back of the pack. Up front, Predators continues to lead the way. That line in the back, they're trying to form momentum to bring a couple of cars to the front, and you see a couple of cars, Dylan, they try to dart up high, and
man, the 14's lagging
back there.
Yeah, I was just riding along with Favre, and the 14 keeps lagging him back. I think he tucked his nose down below the 14, almost like, hey, showing him, let me around you a little. But going there through the corner, I see just a boom, when it shoved Favre super far back. So here he goes back up to his bumper, though. I don't know how he's going to feel about that if it happens again.
KB Showtime to the high side off of turn number 4, but he gets left out to dry by DB, and he is not going to have a hole to get back in. They work for the triangle. And he, unfortunately, Dylan, is going to sink like a rock in water in this pack, because he has no help until you get about 4 more cars back on the high side. So he's going to have to wait for Pittman in the 11 to attach to his back bumper, which is happening right now. So didn't lose that many spots as I thought he was going to. And there it is, that high line starting to form, Dylan.
Yeah, we're gonna see here. They should have a decent run as they come down the backstretch here. We'll see. The thing is with KB right there, that high line just wasn't quite close enough. I think you should have waited just a little bit longer to shoot out. But here we go. As they come into turn 3, that high line's got some momentum.
Yes, it does. That high line starting to build, and it is building quick. They come off of turn number 4, head back to the tri-oval. They cross the start-finish line. 5 laps to go in stage number 2. And they are starting to dice it up. It is getting hot and heavy mid-pack in this field right now. They are drag racing on every inch of this 2.66-mile racetrack off of turn number 4. Back down the back straightaway. That high line, Dylan, they are on a roll. And they are coming very fast up top right now.
Now, Nate, what would you do? Would you jump up there to that high line, or would you just stick to that bottom and stay there? What would your choice be here?
It's hard to say right now. I mean, I feel like the momentum is obviously with that high line. They have more cars up there right now in a single file line than the bottom does, but it's hard to play that game because if you're Predators, you can't jump up there just for a split second and back down, because by the time that you jump up to block that high line, Twitch is going to fulfill that hole, and you're not going to have one to get back into. But now you're seeing that high line kind of start to dissipate as they work into turns number 1 and 2. And yeah, it's kind of that momentum that they had there. It's kind of dissolved, and it's gone for now.
Yeah, it just seemed like some of them guys. I mean, it could be anything, but it looked like they just couldn't quite stay bumper to bumper on that high line. It was you had multiple cars ducking out to the outside, ducking to the inside. You know, they couldn't just stay nose to tail and give that nice shove there to get to the front.
Yeah.
But we'll see if it forms up again.
About 7 cars on the bottom of the racetrack that are single file, and then you have the double file racing in the back because that high line, they're trying to form again, but it just seems like every second there's another car ducking to the bottom of the racetrack to get into the single file line. So that's not going to work right now, but there are, Dylan, 3 laps to go in stage number 2. And I think right now everybody's just kind of riding it out, minding their own business, waiting for the right time to make a move. You saw Favre make a great move to win stage number 1. He timed that move almost perfectly. I don't think he could have done any better than that. And it resulted in a stage win. So we'll see if Twitch, or when Twitch, that is, pulls out a line to try to make a pass on Predators in the number 10.
Yeah, I think we're going to definitely see it, though. But I think like we saw with Favre in that last stage, it's going to be on the last lap is where they're going to try to make their move here. Because like you said, you don't want you get shoveled to that outside. By the time you go up there to block a line, that guy on the bottom's already going to have his nose there, and you don't want to lose positions by just trying to throw a block. So,
well, a lap and a half left in stage number 2. They're down the back straightaway, and when they come back across and cross the start-finish line, there will be 1 lap to go in stage number 2. I think things are about to get a little crazy here, Dylan, because Twitch is not going to be content with just riding and finishing in second. I don't believe I won it, and I don't think he will either. So we'll have to see what transpires by the time they come back around. But what we do know for one thing is a fact, Dylan, the white flag is out here in stage number 2. One more time around Talladega Superspeedway in stage 2.
Yeah, and you know for Twitch to pop out to that outside, he's going to need help. So if that 1 doesn't go or the 41 doesn't go out there to help him, it's going to leave him high and dry.
He's dragging his brake. He's holding the brake a little bit, Dylan. He's trying to get a big enough gap to where he can make a run. But Predators goes to the high side, and he comes back down. That was really close.
Yeah, he was trying to break up that draft there to kind of stall him out a little.
Smart move, right,
yes,
Predators.
It was.
That was very smart racing. But here they come, off of turn number 4 for the final time in stage number 2. Predators, he goes high again. Not going to work this time because Twitch takes off to the high side. He is going to have help from DB side by side across the start-finish line again, and it's going to be Twitch at the line, I believe.
Yep, sure is.
Another side-by-side photo finish for a stage win. Man, we can't ask for anything more here today at Talladega Superspeedway. The first 2 stages have been incredible finishes.
Yeah, and I think Predators there. I feel like when he was what he did on the backstretch there, trying to stall out that draft there. When he did that coming out of turn 4, I think that was a bad mistake because when he came back down to get back in line, that's when Twitch was like out to the outside, and then that's when he had help, which just gave him enough momentum to sneak that nose out there.
But man, what another great finish! And Twitch in the 7. Times his move just as well as Favre did in stage number 1, and again it results in a guy who came across the start-finish line in second winning the stage.
Yeah,
Favre actually came across the line in third that last stage, but I mean 2 times now, Dylan, we've seen in the first 2 stages the leader at the line has not come back around to win the race. So
yeah,
something to keep in mind as they head for the final lap when we get to that point in this race. But right now, up front, new race leader Shovelhead in the 8 as they come off of turn number 2, head down the back straightaway. The final stage, Dylan, at Talladega Superspeedway has begun, and now it is all take, no give as they work down the back straightaway, and they're heading back to turns number 3 and 4.
Heck, I think in stage 1 and 2 we've seen pretty much all take, no give.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to start to see things tighten up here as we get later into the season here.
Oh,
Ooh, I don't
Shovelhead
know what
off of
happened
turn
there.
number 4. He loses the end of. Oh, he might be coming down pit road. I thought he got loose, but it looks like he's coming down pit road. He might not have been. He might have not pitted.
Yep, I bet you that's exactly what happened. That's a shame, and he's going to be by himself. That's going to cost him a good finishing position here.
Yeah, he's going to need to rely on a manual caution to fly for him to get back into this one. But up front, that means Predators in the 10 resumes the race lead. Again, he was in the lead as they came across the start-finish line for stage number 2 on the final lap, but he did not come back across it in the first position. He wound up finishing second in stage 2. So now, Dylan, one thing I want to ask you, if you're Predators in that 10, what is something that you can learn from what just happened in stage 2 so you can fix it if you're in that position at the end of the race on the final lap?
Well, if I was driving that 10 car, I wouldn't really duck to that outside to stop the momentum. I'd drag my brake to where that car behind me stuck on my bumper and don't really have the momentum to shoot outside and pass me. I think that's what really proved costly, like I said, because when he moved up coming out of turn 4 and came back down, that's when Twitch took the opportunity to jump outside of him and gave him enough momentum because, like you said earlier, when you move outside, you're going to have help. People are going to come out there with you. So I think that's really what killed him there, and was able for him to not win that stage.
Yeah, and you see right there that lone car just riding around on the bottom of the racetrack in front of this lead pack is Shovelhead in the 8, so that is going to prove very, very costly because in the matter of seconds, he is going to be swallowed up by this big pack that just got the draft riding in their favor right now. We'll see how it goes when they catch him. As Predators to the high side, he throws the block and chases into the wall.
Ooh, 24 is going to remember that one.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Predators went up, and out of all that, he lost the lead, too. His teammate didn't go with him.
Nope.
Well, I don't think King could have really went with him. There was no room up there for him to go. But and now they jump to the outside. The 8 of Shovelhead, and he does a good job getting to the bottom of the racetrack. Oh, he slides back up in front of I believe that was Mini Golf in the 32.
Ooh.
That was close.
You know, Nate, one thing I was going to say, we haven't really seen that high line form up since earlier when we seen Bro Chase and Flash 9 really get the charge on that outside. We haven't really seen that form, but you see those are 2 guys who are up in that second line up there, but they really broke apart here, and that bottom line is really just nose to tail all the way back throughout their whole line. And that's going to prove difficult for these guys on that outside to gain any positions here.
We're on lap number 67 of 94 in the Geico 250 at Talladega Super Speedway in the FRR Racing League. 28 laps to go. It'll be 27 to go when they come back through the trioval and cross the start-finish line. But Dylan, the laps are winding down here at Talladega Super Speedway, and before you know it, it's going to get to the point of crunch time here. And right now, King in the 41 is the race leader, being pushed by the winner of stage number 2. That's Twitch in the 7. Dylan, it's that time of the race. We're going to throw our picks out there at this point of the race. Who are you picking to come across that start-finish line in the first position and pick up the win at Talladega Super Speedway?
Man, I don't know what it is about it. I hate to, I mean, no, nothing against them, but just with me, I'm not a Hendricks guy, but I feel like these 2 Hendrick cars, Flash or maybe Bro Chase, might get up there. But I don't know. At the same time, they're split up back there in the pack. You know what? I'm gonna throw a curveball. I'm gonna say King just holds them off here and get another Stuart Haas guy up there to take a win. We'll see if he can hold them up. But we still got green flag pit stops to make. So I don't know.
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't know. It could be anybody's race. Any of these guys right here, you see them all right there. That could be anybody's race. Between 20 of them,
Well, at this point of the race, I think I am going to pick the one who's kind of had a quiet but a very strong run so far, and he's got to win this year, and it's came at a super speedway. I'm going to go with DB in the 1 because he knows how to get it done on super speedways. He's proven that before. He also won another race this year, so he's got 2 victories on the year. I think he goes and he snags his 3rd win of the season.
Yeah, and if he's got multiple guys out there, I'm sure that'll help him. King don't have no teammates up there or anything right now, so that can really hurt too.
We go back to that win at Talladega or at Daytona.
International.
He wasn't I mean, he was up there and he was present all day, but he wasn't a dominant car, or he wasn't leading a lot of laps. He was just there at the end, and all of a sudden he's in the lead when it came down to it and when it mattered, and he found his way to victory lane. So he's proven to this league, he's proven to us as broadcasters that he can get the job done on super speedways, and I'm going to roll with him, Dylan. I'm going to pick that number 1 to end up back in victory lane here today.
Yeah. We'll see here. Like I said, green flag stops. I think for the last pit stop. Actually, let's see. I think we're still going to have 2 stops. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe there's going to be 2 more stops.
Yeah, two more stops. So getting in and out of pit road right, and still being able to have, because what it takes to win here at Talladega, you gotta have somebody pushing you. If you don't have that draft and you don't have help, you're going nowhere. So, I mean, we'll see who's going to work with who and who's going to bail on one another. I mean, as you see, we're all single file now all the way back through the field. They're just going to try to click down some laps here before the first pit stop.
It's going to be within the next 4 or 5 laps. I expect everybody to roll down pit road, so that's something to keep an eye on, because we've emphasized this all season. Pit road mistakes will cost you a race, and you cannot afford to have one at this moment of the race because of how little laps are left in this one. I mean, if you have a pit road mistake or penalty, you're done. You're not going to make that. You're not going to come back and recover from that unless you get lucky with a manual caution. But I mean, we have seen some today, but I think right now you're not going to see any huge wreck that happens, because these guys are perfectly fine riding in the single file line until it gets down to the end of this thing. So again, in about 4 or 5 laps, I believe we will see the field start to make their way down pit road and kick off the cycle of the first green flag pit stops out of the 2 that are left in this one. They're on lap number 72 of 94 here at Talladega Super Speedway. It's the Geico 250 in the FRR Racing League. Again, I'm Nathan Prouty, and alongside me, Dylan Bridgers.
Oh, that's Mike McGrath.
Yeah, I did see that. I think that was 9mm in a 12.
But sorry to cut you off there.
No, and it was 9mm in the 12. He definitely came down pit road way too fast right there.
Black flag, black flag. One thing I can say too, ever since that big wreck that Barb was caught up in, as well as Bro chasing the 9, they haven't really been able to do much in a minute. But I don't know. Look at the highlight.
Yeah,
look at that highline rolling.
Highline has come out of nowhere, and all of a sudden they are not content riding around single file anymore, because they are side by side drag racing off of turn number 4. You have the king of the 41 who's out there leading this race in sole possession, but then from there on back they are 2 wide, mixing it up in the middle of the pack. Here they come through the tri-oval across the start finish line. They're going to be on lap number 74 of 94. 21 laps to go. Oh, we got contact there, and a couple of cars scattered, but everybody keeps it straight.
Yep. Cycle 2 death back to the back. Predator as well going to the back.
And man, that highline's going to take off here.
Oh, yeah. Everybody's up there now.
I think Twitch might be coming down pit road, or he got shuffled down there. But, I mean, that is just how quick things can change here. That's going to really kill Twitch, because he had to slow that car down a lot to get it back up onto the high banks here at Talladega. And, man, just like that. Just like that, Dylan. Look how much it's changed.
I think like I said, with my pick, I might go back to that original, man. Them Hendrick guys, them Hendrick cars they're so strong. And you see, you got KB, you got Flash 9, you got Bro Chase, all 3 of them right there.
I mean, that we said it already a bunch of times tonight with how quickly things happen here. But where did that high line come from?
No, nowhere.
Honestly, it was not there. It was not in existence, and then all of a sudden, we have this huge shakeup in the running order, and now Favre's back to the lead. You got the Hendrick boys riding 3 of them in the top 5. That was a huge shakeup, and that was just sparked out of the middle of nowhere. And Twitch, literally, you can see now he did go down pit road. He's going to lose a bunch of time, because not only is he getting lapped right now, but he is going to be by himself with no drafting help. So he's going to rely on a manual caution to come out and help him get back into this one. But man, that was insane, Dylan. That was fun to watch, though.
Everybody coming down pit road. It's going to be interesting seeing this many cars come down pit road. We'll see if they can stay off one another.
Yeah, this is going to get
ride to the back here.
Very close.
ride
and
behind a lot of these
very
guys.
Bad. We'll see. Here they come. And so far, so good.
Yeah,
KB
yeah.
almost missed it and almost got demolished from the cars that were staying out. That was really close.
But all in all, it looked like everybody got into pit road nice and smooth.
I want to stay on KB here, too, because he might have came in a little too hot and caught the attention of a black flag. But we'll just have to wait and see because, Dylan, he almost missed pit road, and Mucka and the 3 cars that were staying out were right on his back bumper when he came down pit road. They almost tattooed him in the rear.
That is not what you want. It's not something you want to see in your rearview mirror about to get smashed as you go into pit road. Yep, I think you're right. I think that 48 caught a black flag.
Yeah, he was coming in with a full head of steam, wasn't able to slow down, and yes, indeed, everybody else has scampered off of pit road. The 48 left behind, and it looks like Matt Mopar must have got one right there along with them. So the 2 mistakes two drivers that we were talking about a lot earlier on, they made a couple of crucial mistakes that we talked about, not having the time or basically the time to make the laps. You just don't have them, and they made them, and that's going to hurt their chances of coming across that start-finish line in the first position later on. But right now, up front, it is Favre in the 4 is the race leader.
Well, the race leader right now is actually the 3 of True Death, but yeah. And look how much that really spread the field out, man. I mean, so much. That really just, everyone's so spread apart now. But again, we still got a whole another pit stop left to go. And what I like, you got them Stewart Haas boys in the 14 in that 4, but then you got the Hendricks there. So, man, we've seen a battle all year long between those two teams. And just all year long, we've seen the 4, the 14, the 41 also in King. He's still up there. He's a Stewart Haas guy as well. So you got 3 Stewart Haas guys and only 2 Hendricks. So, I mean, if I was one of them Haas guys, I'd want to try to find my 2 teammates and see if we can't do something about this 9 and 24. Get them spread apart. Get them behind us. You know what I'm saying? I want to get them to where they're not in contention with us. But as you look here, I think almost vice versa.
They're 3 wide.
Yeah, almost vice versa. But I mean, they shovel King a little further back to spread him out, get him away from his teammates.
So right now in the 14, filling in for Perky is Daha Jr., and he is the race leader, being followed by a temporary teammate in Favre in the 4. They work down the back straightaway. They're on lap number 79 of 94 here in the Geico 250.
Yeah, not many laps left here. Like I said, still one more pit stop to go, but you know, the laps are clicking down here. I think right now, if you're one of these guys in that front pack, you just want to be smart here. Really, when you come down pit road, you really don't want to make no mistakes here coming to the last pit stop. You just want to be smart. You know, don't push the issue anywhere. Right now, I think the best thing to do is just count some laps down, make sure you get into pit road fine, come out fine, and then go from there.
15 laps to go, Dylan. We are in the crunch time zone here. They do have to make one more green flag pit stop, pending a manual caution that would bring the whole field down pit road. But right now, up front, it is just this single file line of about 9 cars making their way around this 2.66 high banked speedway at Talladega. And Dylan, coming to 14 to go, this is going to get interesting because, like you said, there's a mixture of drivers up there, and there's a couple of guys who are looking for a very good points day, and there's a couple of guys looking for another win on the year.
Yeah, for sure. Let me see here real quick. I think every Stewart Haas car right now is literally running in that top group. Yeah, they are. Every single Stewart Haas car right now is in that top group. Oh, maybe not. Well, Golf Pro in the 32 is the only one who's not up there in this front pack. So, man, for them Fords run pretty solid here at super speedways. Like, even in the real race today, the Fords just had that pushing power, you know, but...
Yep. Well, how about this? Daha Jr. filling in for Perky. I'd say he's doing a pretty decent job, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah, I'd be 100% satisfied.
Again, Perky does not receive any points that Daha Jr. picks up, but this
Really?
is just
Okay.
to have the car out there running around. And man, I say for having a fill-in driver going out and getting the win, it's got to be pretty special. It's got to mean a lot for the guy who couldn't be here and sitting at home watching it or hearing about it later. So we'll see, though. The interesting thing is if Perky isn't getting any of the points that Daha Jr. receives, how aggressive does Favre get with a guy who essentially isn't his teammate? So we'll see how that works out. But he's also racing behind a guy right now, leading the race, that not getting any points, and that win doesn't count for him. So he's got to try to get around him. So we'll see how aggressive he gets when it gets down to the end here. But there are 12 laps to go. Again, there'll be one more cycle of green flag pit stops if we do not have a manual caution. But again, there's only 2 more laps before we can see another manual caution, because once they get to 10 to go, there will be no more manual cautions on the night.
Right, and no more manual cautions, as well as with pit stops coming up, man. That's because anything can happen going into pit road. And if you got multiple cars coming into pit road, but yet you're after that 10 lap mark, you're in some trouble there. But
yep,
I'm curious to see when we'll see guys come down. I guarantee it's going to be just a fuel only. You're just going to get a little splash of fuel and get right back out there.
Yeah, you would really hope so, because if you're one of the cars that need tires and the rest of the field doesn't, then you are in jeopardy of losing the draft to this big pack. Man, I think you would lose the draft.
Yeah, you would, for sure. No doubt about it. Like you said, though, I'm curious to see how aggressive Favre gets, with it. I mean, technically, it's not his, in a way, technically.
Essentially, it's not his actual teammate.
Yeah.
Daha's not racing for points. The win doesn't go to Perky. I don't think the points go to Perky. I don't think the win would go to Perky. So Favre's riding around right now in second, but really he's first on the field, and I don't think that's going to sit well with him, because he wants to go out there and get the win. Same with Mucka and everybody in this pack right now that has to find their way to get around the 14. So I don't think that 14 is going to fare too well against these guys that are trying to race for points and for a win. But they just crossed the start-finish line, Dylan. So 10 laps to go in the Geico 250 at Talladega Super Speedway. No more manual cautions from here on out. You can see the Hendrick boys that you picked are up top, trying to make that high line move. And, Favre goes up there too, and so does Daha Jr. That was almost a big pileup if that was missed time, but that's going to open up the door for Mucka on the inside. He's got 2 cars pushing him, and the 2 leaders are going to be drag racing as they come off of turn number 4.
Yeah, that's one thing I can say. Shout out to Mucka, man. What a great recovery he had ever since that last wreck. I mean, to see him up here, about to be battling for a win after having such a tough time through that first and second stage, give a round of applause for him, 100%. Great job. So consistent. He's such a consistent racer here in this league. I mean, it's his league, but he's so consistent.
And that just shows the character of Mucka here, too. I mean, he's the owner of this league, and he'll be the first one to tell you that, I don't have a car to win tonight, or I'm a top 5 or top 10 car. And he just keeps on trucking, and he runs a great league here. And he's got an opportunity to pick up his first win on the season. But he's got to get some more drafting help, I believe, behind him, because those 3 cars on the bottom are just not going to compare to the 6 cars that are up top. And you just saw it right there. That bottom line kind of dissipated pretty quickly. But now Favre stays up high, and there it is. He leaves the 14 out to dry as they come off of turn number 2. But, the 14, he gets a huge push from the 24, and it's going to put him back in front of the 4 as they work off of turn number 2, head down the back straightaway. They're on lap number 87 of 94 here at Talladega Super Speedway. The clock is running out here, Dylan. They're getting to the end of this one.
Yeah. And, I see somebody lost the draft there. I think it's King in the 41. I wonder what happened to his car. I don't know what might have happened for him to lose this front draft here, but definitely something that's gonna kill his finishing spot here. But we still got pit stops coming up. Like I said, it's coming up on 88. Yeah, we're on lap 88 and 94, so crunch time is in progress.
Yeah, they just crossed the start-finish line. 7 laps to go here at Talladega Super Speedway. And again, you just saw it. Favre is not wasting any time with the car in front of him, who's not racing for points. He's just out there to fulfill that seat for Perky for this weekend. So Favre is going to be aggressive. I think we just saw a glimpse of that a couple of laps ago. Same with Flash 9 and Chase in the 24. And Dylan, you caught it. Those two Hendrick boys, they've been up there in the conversation all afternoon, and now they find themselves running 3rd and 4th with 6 laps to go at Talladega Super Speedway. Not sure when pit stops are going to come. I think they do have to come down pit road one more time, though, Dylan.
100%. They do for sure. I think they're about 3 laps shy, I believe. They would be about 3 laps shy on fuel from the last time they pit. Here they come right now. Yep. You're just going to see them take a splash of fuel right now. Right here is key. This is the moment. Stop. Yes, right here. How you get in, you do not want to come in hot. You just want it perfect. It's got to be flawless. Right here, it's got to be flawless. We'll see here. It's right along Favre.
About to happen as they come off of turn number 4. They all duck below the double yellow line as they come down pit road.
Oh, no.
Contact, and we got trouble on the entrance of pit
man.
road. It was the 96 of McAttack who went for a spin. It looked like, from our vantage point, that Chase in the 24 and Mucka in the 2 got some damage from that as well.
As well as Flash 9. I believe Flash 9 is possibly going to have a black flag here. Yeah, no, he's not. No, he's not. Perky does. Or, well, duh, I should say.
Yeah, that is going
Whoa,
to
what is going on? Whoa. Craziness.
So now they come off of pit road, and it looks like Favre.
Look at the 9 and 1.
And is going to take over the race lead. I guess the 24, Dylan, he might have not got damaged. He might have been down pit road by the time that 96 machine hit him, which is going to be huge for him, or he just didn't opt to fix his damage and he wanted to stay up there. But now we have filed down that 9-car pack down to 5, and Favre is the race leader. And all 4 of these guys that are up front right now have been to victory lane this year. Predators in the 10 has not. So we'll have to see who can pick up a win in the closing laps at Talladega Superspeedway.
Yeah, we got Stewart Haas and we got Hendrick, but look where your pick is. Being nice and quiet, run there in that 3rd position, just waiting for these 2. Yep.
He's kind of being devil's advocate right now. He's splitting up the teammates. He's in the middle of between the Hendricks, and he's also splitting up Predators and the 4 of Favre. So 4 laps to go. We're on lap number 91 of 94. Flash 9 is giving a lot of company to the back bumper of that 4 machine. He's not letting off. He is fulfilling that mirror, and he is letting the 4 know he's there. By the end of this one, he might have nightmares of Busch Light because of seeing that sponsor all night. But here they come. Off of turn number 4. When they cross the start-finish line, there will be 3 laps to go in the Geico 250 at Talladega Super Speedway. And I believe, Dylan, that we're in for another photo finish. We've seen 2 already today in the 2 stages, and I think we're gearing up to see another spectacular finish. But right now, Favre is trying to go to victory lane for another. Is it the 4th time? Would it be the 4th time or the 3rd for him this year?
Let me check real quick to verify that. It will be number 3.
Number 3 on the year.
Now, okay, you got them Hendrick boys. I mean, those been the 2 that have, if that high line's been going, them 2 cars have been the ones out there. With them 2 being split up there, with DB kind of being the one to split them right now. You see, I seen Bro Chase kind of stick his nose out there. I'm curious when Flash 9 is like, you're going to see it. You're going to see Hendrick's going to go to that outside. I guarantee it.
You're going to see a move at some point in time, and it they don't have much more time to do it because there are 2 laps to go here in the Geico 250 at Talladega Super Speedway. You can kind of hear it off in the distance. It's like a time bomb ticking. Something is getting ready to happen, and when it does, it's going to be big. Here they come down the back straightaway, back into turns number 3 and 4. Favre is the race leader. Keep in mind, Dylan, the first 2 stages in this one, the driver who has came across the line in first has not made it back around to win. They come through the tri-oval. Flash 9 trying to make his move right now. The white flag is going to be displayed. 1 lap to go here at Talladega Super Speedway.
And I see Favre's teammate, the Tanner Predators, keeps ducking outside. That's going to really hurt Favre. If he goes outside and pushes these other guys up, that's going to hurt his own teammate. So, but I think with DB breaking up that 9 and 24, if the 9 hops out to get that 24 to his bumper, that's going to give enough for DB.
The 9 goes down low, and Favre forces them below the yellow line. That's going to slow them down, and here comes Chase on the high side being pushed by Predators. It is a 5-car battle for the race win. Down the backstretch into turns number 3 and 4. They will come off of turn 4 for the final time. Predators, he goes high. That's going to kill that momentum here. It's a 4-car battle now. Flash 9, he is just trying, dogging the back bumper of Favre, trying to get around him. Doesn't seem he's going to be able to do it. Here they come to the trial for the final time today. It is going to be Favre in the number 4 who picks up the race win at Talladega Super Speedway in the Geico 250.
Wow.
What an amazing finish yet again.
Just some stellar blocking there by that 4-car. Stellar blocking. He couldn't. There was nowhere for Flash 9 to go.
Yeah.
He shut everywhere down. There was nothing he could do.
He was all over the back bumper, just beating and banging, trying to find a way. And everywhere he went, Favre had an answer for him, and it paid to the benefit of Favre because he came across the line in the number 1 position. Favre is the winner of the Geico 250 at Talladega Super Speedway. Flash 9 finishes 2nd, DB in 3rd, Chase in 4th. Predators rounds out your top 5. Mucka 6th, Mac Attack 7th, and then it is FRR True Death in the 8th position. 9th is King, and Pittman is the last of the top 10. What another spectacular race in this great league. And Dylan, that was a blast to call. It's always a good time when we come to Super Speedway, especially here at Talladega Super Speedway. And for the viewers that want to stick around, stay tuned. In a little bit, we will have interviews from the race winner himself, Favre, and a couple other drivers. But the interview portion of the broadcast is coming up in just moments. So stick around if you want to hear from a couple of drivers.
And while we wait for them drivers to get in here, just like to take a special thanks to all the viewers and whatnot. And to do not forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you enjoy listening to me and Nate here do these broadcasts every Sunday night at 9 o'clock. Shoot. Let's see who had that fastest. Mucka had the fastest lap for the end of the race.
So now we're just kind of waiting on the drivers to collect their thoughts and get into the party chat here so we can talk to them. We'll get Favre in here for sure and see if we can snag a couple others. But, yeah, what a great finish there, Dylan. And you said it, Mucka had the fastest lap of the night.
Yeah. Good for him, man. And talk about consistency. I would say he takes the cake out of any of these guys here. I mean, you always see him up there in the solid top 5, top 10 finishes every week. Like that. That's nice to see. It's good. Like I said, it's his league. It's nice to run this kind of competitive league and still be competitive yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was just a prime example of great blocking. And as you can see right there on our screen, a couple of the drivers have entered the chat. So we'll kick off the interview portion of the broadcast. Flash, it's Nathan up in the broadcast booth. Do you have a copy of us?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, first and foremost, congratulations on a great run. I mean, second place, nothing to hang your head low about, but just kind of walk us through that final lap. I mean, you were dogging the back bumper of Favre, and you just could not get around them. What was going through your head there, and where do you think you would? What would you change if you can go back and do that last lap again?
I guess I would have tried harder just to get linked up with Chase in the 24. Just from riding around there a couple laps prior, I felt like any slight move, I was up and down. I was trying to snicker him one way or the other, and I thought, I had my nose under him, and he had to make the block to keep me back, so just tried to get it back up in line. But yeah, it just weren't really connected behind the two of us. I didn't think the one would go with me, and there's probably too much of a gap between Chase and I to really make a competitive move.
Yeah, and that was kind of what we were seeing too, is that you just didn't have that momentum to carry you up on the high side to be able to get around Farb. And I mean, Farb was doing a good job throwing blocks on you there, and it was kind of watching two heavyweights battle in the ring. So I mean, again, that was a great race to watch and call. Congratulations on a second place finish. I know that's not where you want to end up on the night, but thank you for your time, and we'll hopefully talk to you soon in the future.
All right, thank you.
So there you have it, guys. That was Flash 9, the driver of the number 9 Chevrolet, and now we'll turn to the winner of the afternoon, Farb. It's Nate up in the broadcast booth. You have a copy of us.
Hey, boys.
Well, congratulations. It's kind of been a theme that we've been saying all year. Your third win of the year and another stage win. And Dylan, what you said it in the broadcast, did you count up how many stage wins that is for him now?
Oh, let's see here.
Yeah, I think it's in double
you're
digits.
pushing. Yeah, I think you're pushing 10 now. Yeah. Let's see.
Either way, congratulations. You've been the car to beat in this first quarter of the season, and I just kind of want to get your thoughts of what was going through your mind on that last lap when you saw Flash just trying everything he could do to get around you there.
Yeah, so going into turn 1, I knew a move was going to be made, and I never saw Flash back off. Maybe a little bit, so I was just trying to stay as close as I could to his front bumper, so he couldn't get a run. And then off of 2, I was expecting him to go high because he had a very small run, and he went low, and I didn't mean to make contact with him, but I mean it's plate racing, so I mean it is what it is. And I haven't been anything the last couple of seasons on super speedways, so I will definitely take a stage win and a win for sure.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And we were going to ask you that too. That aggressive move that you made on Flash 9, I'm sure that's something that will be talked about between the two. But if you could go back and change it, would you have stayed lower there off the corner so the controversy didn't get sparked?
Well, I mean, I think we've run enough together and clean enough together to know that it's not dirty. I mean, Flash is the best of the best, and I try and image his driving styles. So, I did what I had to do. It wasn't, it was intentional, but it wasn't to, get him out of line or anything. I was just trying to stay low because I did lift up a little bit out of the corner because, like I said, I thought he was going to move up high, which he didn't. So I just had to get back down to the bottom.
Yeah. Well, congratulations, man. Another solid performance by you and that Ford team. You guys have been really on a roll early in the season here, and hopefully for you guys the success continues to pile up. It's been a blast calling you and watching how clean and professional that you and everybody else in this league has been out on the track. So congratulations on another win, and hopefully we'll talk to you here in the near future.
Absolutely. Got to give a quick shout out to Mucka. Saw him up at one point. He was leading. Just for another awesome league. I mean, you can't say enough about the league that he put together, and I'm definitely honored to be a part of it and have them let me be a part of it. So just a quick shout out to him.
Well, and we'll actually bring him in right now. I think he's in the chat. Mucka, do you got a copy of Dylan and I up here in the broadcast booth?
Yeah, how you doing, Nate?
Good. I mean, hey, you had a pretty solid, consistent night. You were up there mixing it up for the race lead there at one point. We thought you were going to be up there to have a shot at the end, but obviously it didn't go the way you wanted. But just kind of talk about your night and how it went for you out there on the track.
I never qualify up front. I'm always mid-pack qualifier, so I just wanted to, buy my time, make my moves when I wanted to make my moves, let guys get unstable and out of let them move for me, basically. Kind of try to stay in the line. That was the best. And just keep clean and not get a black flag. And I knew I'd put myself in that top 10. I had a chance for the lead there for a second, but those Hendrick boys, they work together so well. It's really hard to get anything on those guys, especially on a super speedway when they work together so well. But overall good points night, and just move on to Dover.
Yeah,
just
and
keep my car in that top 5, top 10. That's all I try to do every week.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about, is getting points here in this league. So congratulations on a solid performance tonight on the first or the second place rate of the plate race of the season. We'll be back to both Daytona and Talladega later in the year, so we're looking forward to seeing that again. But Mucka, thanks again for the opportunity for Dylan and I to call this great league that you put on. It's a pleasure, and it's been fun to watch what you guys put on the track night in or week in and week out. So it's been an honor.
I just got one last thing I want to mention. I kind of personal issue, but I wanted to donate name this race. I raced this race for my mother who passed yesterday, so it was all for her, really.
Yeah.
So that was my motivation for the night. So,
well, our deepest condolences are with you and your family, and we're sorry for your loss. And
I appreciate it.
Hoping everything gets better for you guys. And
no, it was good to get on the track and race for her and get my mind off of it. And it's always a blast, but it's also medication for me at this time. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it helped out.
Yeah, never easy when you lose a loved one or a close one. So. With that being said, we'll go on to our final driver tonight that's in the chat here that we can talk to, and it is the winner of stage number 1, number 2, that is Twitch. Do you have a copy of us here up in the broadcast booth?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Well, man, congratulations on picking up a stage win here, and I just want to ask you one question. You timed that move. It was a great timing. You waited for the perfect moment to pull up alongside and take that stage win. So just kind of walk us through what was going through your mind when you came off of turn 4 there, knowing that your time to make the move was running out.
Well, I had my teammate behind me, and we pretty much had the same idea, so we knew what we were going to do. Coming off of 4, he gave me a very good push, and I was able to get next to him, and then I just, side drafted him to slow him down, and I DB pushed me, so I was able to get the stage win.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that was fun to watch. It was fun to call, and I mean, it was a photo finish. I don't know how close you got to see it was, but from our vantage point, it was extremely close. And again, congratulations on that. It was fun to watch, and thanks for your time, and congrats on a good night.
Thank you.
I just got to intervene quick here. It's Favre, and on behalf of all of FRR, Mucka's got a group of 20 to 25 drivers here that have his back. So, and he's emphasized before, we're a family, and it's amazing how close I've gotten to every single person that, races in this league. So, there might be some tension on race day, but, we are all a family and are all here for Mucka. So, on behalf of all the guys in FR, Mucka, our deepest condolences to you, and, if you ever need anything, you can just message any single one of us.
I appreciate that, Favre.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely a family community feeling to the league that we bring you guys every weekend, and it's been a pleasure, as we mentioned. But Dylan, the closing thoughts here on the night. I mean, what a spectacular race. We saw 2 photo finishes for the stages, and then we saw another great finish for the overall result. And kind of piggybacking off what we heard from the drivers tonight, Farb said he did that move on purpose when he did that intentionally to kind of block Flash 9. He wasn't meaning to put him below the yellow line, but you kind of got to be selfish to win these things. You really got to be aggressive, and we saw that, and guess who won? So, I mean, that's the kind of the closing thoughts that I have on the night.
Yeah, I mean, you got to do what you got to do to get that win. They're already hard to come by as it is, so, if it takes what it is. Like, and you heard in his interview, it wasn't necessarily dirty, by any means, but, he wasn't just going to give that spot up and just, let the wind just walk away from him. So,
yeah.
I mean, kudos to him to throwing that block. He did some excellent blocking there towards the end. I think a big thing was having DB there to split up them two Hendrick guys. That was key for him to stay out front there, because them two could not get to one another with DB there. So, I mean, kudos. Great blocking there at the end, Farb. I mean, that was excellent. I mean, it was picture-perfect blocking. You did exactly what you needed to do, and you were able to kind of pull away the win there. So, congratulations.
Thanks,
yeah,
man.
and that, Dylan, will conclude another broadcast here in the FRR Racing League on NASCAR Heat 5. To everyone who stuck around to watch it to the end, we appreciate you showing support. And, again, don't forget to like and subscribe. But yeah, Dylan, that's going to bring the broadcast to an end. So thanks again for sticking alongside with me, and it was good to be back after missing last weekend, and we'll look forward to bringing you guys the action next weekend at Dover. So it's going to be a fun one there as well. The Monster Mile.
Yep, that's going to be a good one. Yeah, that should be a fun one. Can't wait.
So, with that being said, again, our deepest condolences are with Mucka and his family at this time. But we'll end on that, and he's in our prayers and thoughts as well as his mother. So again, our deepest condolences. And with that being said, we will talk to everyone next week. So everybody have a good week, and we'll talk to you next Sunday at Dover.